So I'm in Korea against these challenger bot lanes and some LCK bot lanes, but if you don't improve in lane quickly there, you just get absolutely smashed in scrims. So it kind of forced me to improve even more in lane.
What's up, everyone? Digon here alongside North American carrier. It's Busio of 100 Thieves. Today's game, a little tough against NRG. Kind of talk me through what happened and also the weird thing that happened during draft.
Well, we can start with the draft thing because it's fast. I giga griefed because on second phase, we were supposed to ban Ssumday, and I confirmed I said Ssumday, clicked it, and then I just missed the lock-in button, I guess. I don't actually know because like I assumed that I hit lock-in, but I didn't. So then like I let it time out to 0, and on TR, when it hits 0 and you have the champion like hovered on the ban, it doesn't actually ban it, it just counts as a no ban.
Right.
So that was a disaster. I feel pretty bad. Probably affected the draft.
Probably.
And our chances of winning.
Well, so then what happened after that? Was it quickly like, hey, that didn't ban? Yeah. Okay, now Ssumday's open, we have to completely change what we'd set up for? Is like that the conversation after that?
Well, the team, or like Ssumday and the coach were saying it's completely fine, but they could just be saying that so I don't feel bad and like play worse. But I still felt bad, and I don't actually know how big of a deal it was, but regardless, that was like pretty unacceptable by me.
Sure.
I hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, well, mistakes are made to learn from them. Also, when you say, yeah, Ssumday and the coach, was that like Ssumday and Nuke, or Ssumday and who's on comms for you today?
Joseph Jang.
Oh, that's right.
GM, yeah.
Coach Jungle Juice, baby.
Yeah.
God, what a glow up for him. He was like out there being strategic stats guy, and then general managing, and now coaching. 1 and 2, losing record, Jungle Juice. All right, let's go to the game that happened. Talk me through this setup, this matchup here.
Well, honestly, like we had Zeri Yumi,
Yeah.
which on like a slow stage match is usually just like a free win. But we fell a lot behind in gold during like the Herald situation. We didn't have the clearest comms, and like Jungle got chunked maybe because of those comms. He couldn't really focus, which of course makes sense because like it's not clear like exactly who's there first and things like that.
Yeah.
So we lost the Herald situation, even though it should have been honestly good for us because he was 6, Kha'Zix was 5, so we're stronger in that situation.
Yep.
Then later, Aphelios obviously wants to keep swapping because depending on guns, he takes turrets faster. They also got Herald, so they want to mismatch. And we again just didn't really match properly. We went for too many extra waves, so the swaps just kept getting more confusing and just more detrimental. And then obviously it's not lost after that, but it's like we're getting in a gold disadvantage for no reason.
Yeah.
And then when it just came down to team fights, we also just played bad. So like every aspect of today was pretty bad, and definitely like the swapping communication. I feel like I could have done a lot more there because I'm playing Yumi, so like I can just spend all my time looking at the map.
That'll be the big takeaway from today's match, I guess.
Yeah, I just need to like have a solid plan communicated about these swaps because like other people are laning, thinking about things. So yeah.
You're now going into your next, I guess your second split now, full time, with yet another old veteran coming on in, you know, swapping out Bjerg for Nuke, and then I guess Quid, that'll be coming later. What was it like this week playing with Nukeduck?
Well, Nuke's good vibes in game. He's very like, he's just like actually like there to have fun, which like brings up the team. Like he doesn't take it too seriously, which like actually is a good thing because in like 2/10 of a team environment, it's harder for people to like admit mistakes. For like more tilt will happen if it's too serious.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like having a good time, and I like that a lot in scrims, even on stage. So yeah, for having an emergency sub being our coach, Nuke might be the best person to take that place.
So let's speak about your mid laner that's coming on in Quid. What kind of communications have you had, prep with you had with him? And is it going to be one of those things because it's now a 3-match week rather than a 2-match week with more practice? Is it going to be just slotting right on in and, you know, maybe a rush to get him in for week 2?
Yeah, I mean, I assume we'll put him in for week 2. I would not see why not. We already scrimmed with him in Korea a good amount. His English still isn't perfect, but he's actually surprisingly good at it already. So yeah, we'll just put him right in there and continue where we left off in Korea. It won't be a problem.
Then speak to me about having a Hall of Famer. God, that's so weird to say. In the top lane now, and Ssumday coming back on in. Obviously, Ssumday part of the 100 Thieves Hall of Fame for you now.
Yeah, well, it's a big change from our last top laner. Obviously, Tenacity, my boy.
Yeah.
But Ssumday's just like an elite veteran. Like, it's just such a difference because he can just tell closer exactly on what wave this guy's gankable. Like, he knows all his matchups wave by wave, super specific because he's just that good, that experienced, that practiced. So, like, just very refreshing to play with him. And
then what is the biggest, I'd say, step forward you made in that offseason, or this last offseason to now, that you want everyone to look out for, that you can show off later on the split?
Well, specifically in the offseason, like every time we bootcamp in Korea, I feel like I get better at laning because, especially last bootcamp, at the start of the season, obviously it was still 2v2 range champs.
Yeah.
And this offseason it was also the same meta. So I'm in Korea against these challenger bot lanes and some LCK bot lanes, but they're really good in lane. And if you don't improve in lane quickly there, you just get absolutely smashed in scrims. So it kind of forced me to improve even more in lane. So I feel like, yeah, every time I go to Korea, I basically just get better in lane. Yeah.
So I hear this all the time, and how do you replicate that level of growth here? Because can you replicate? What are things that you can do to replicate that? Because it can't just be like, I'm losing and I feel pressure now. Now I'm gonna work harder. It's not just that. Like, what can you replicate here to kind of get those gains?
Well, when you're scrimming a good bot lane, you still get the same practice in lane. But yeah, it's just if you went to Korea and you have those learnings, or at least for me, then when I come back into an A, I'm still applying those learnings, still thinking about the same concepts. So even if I would play at a lower level, I'm still thinking about those concepts and I can still like improve upon them.
Got it.
Even though in that specific game, maybe I don't have to use them to the highest level to survive. While in Korea, you'd actually have to do it to survive.
Right.
While here, you could get away with potentially not playing at that level.
I know that wasn't an easy question to answer, Alan, so I appreciate that one. Like, but those are the types of things that I hope, and that's the type of answer I hope the future flag bearers for NA are thinking and are trying to answer. So the fact that you did, are like, well, I won't get punished for it, but I still have to do these things because later on it'll be like that. Lastly, I know you're early on in your career, but you've had a journey through competitive play.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me a story about an old teammate. Tell me a story about an old teammate that's funny, that can be said, and preferably someone that isn't still playing, so that it doesn't have to be that, but like so it doesn't.
Isn't still playing.
Yeah. So we're not cooking someone too hard. Maybe someone along the way, there's like this teammate that does this weird thing or whatever.
I guess I'll do it from my first team.
Okay.
Polar Ace.
Polar Ace, yeah.
DMK.
Yep.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was a mid laner at the time. I was like previously just a solo queue player. Like this is basically my first like split or like it was like an amateur circuit, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
Of competitive. So like I was a total noob.
Yeah.
I was just griefing perma.
Okay.
Because I knew nothing about macro competitive play straight out of solo queue. But so my 3 champs were like Orianna, Syndra, I guess 4 LeBlanc and did I say Zoe?
No, you didn't say Zoe.
But like Azir was super meta at the time.
Yep.
So I'm like learning Azir, picking it up, and DMK gave me the full Azir rundown in one review. It was so funny. Like we're reviewing I don't know if it was a scrim or a stage match, but like he was basically like piloting Azir for me because actually I guess he can play Azir at a pretty decent level, and I just thought it was like too funny that he's like he just felt so passionate, but like honestly like angry at the same time when he was teaching me how to play Azir. But it was just like too funny.
Why was he angry?
Because I was like griefing, but it was like funny because he was like very mad at me at the same time. But I can tell like he genuinely wants me to like get better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just so funny to me and like so memorable how much he cared. It was pretty insane.
All right, shout out to DMK,
for
that little memory on your journey.
That.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for your time. 1 and 2 this week, but hopefully you'll be able to turn it around. Any final words for the 100 Thieves fans and all the Busio fans out there?
Okay. Well, we will be scaled very soon, guys. It's a 6-week split. Quid's going to get in there. We're going to keep up the practice. We'll be good in no time. No worries.
There it is. Confident. That was confident. That felt good here. I don't know. Hopefully that felt good there. But if you want to continue to feel good, make sure to keep it locked in on T-Con Esports. You like that one? That was okay.
That was good. That was good.
All right, bro. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right.